Good morning, my ladies and my gents. Happy Father's Day. And hope y'all are able to get some bench time in today if y'all don't normally do it on a regular basis. Um, I thought today I would highlight the trailer that I wound up doing. The story is the guy in the green pickup uh, did a frame off restoration on the pickup, had it all redone, put a little bit more powerful motor than the straight six it came with, but the big dual carb flathead Ford, flathead in it, and kind of beefed it up just a little bit so he could have the pull a trailer. And he's got a hot rod. I'm not sure yet what hot rod he's got, but our hero has a hot rod and he wants to pull it around to go from place to place with it for a show because it's not exactly quite street legal. So, plus it saves a lot of wear and tear on it. But so he's got a hot rod, he's got a pickup. Now he needs a trailer. Well, he got in contact with the this old defunct racing team that had this trailer sitting out in the back and been sitting there for several years and kind of rusted up a bit and cleaned up. He hasn't had a. He's able to come out and take a look at it. Bought it for a couple of $100 because it's just sitting out there and they want to get it out. He had to put new bearings in the hubs because they were all dried out and broke down. He had to put new wheels on it, new tires, new electronics and lights, that kind of thing. And the frame was pretty good, but it was just dried out. So he hooked up to it, got it all done, got it taken care of, made it road legal, made it safe, towed it home. He hasn't had the chance yet to go out and actually fix it, take it, all apart and uh, rebuild it. So, but he's got it home. It's rusted, and this is my first attempt at actually doing rusting. And I used a variation of a technique from a YouTube channel called Mars Garage. And he basically uses a makeup brush and three colors of basically craft acrylic and dabs it on and gives it a rough texture. Well, I didn't want a rough texture. I wanted more patina. So, but the colors he used is marigold, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. Oh, excuse me. And I'll have a link to the video that I got this idea from in the description. And Mars Garage, thank you so much for the idea. I didn't have a makeup brush, so I wound up using just a brush because I didn't want that rough texture. I wanted a smooth texture, and I couldn't. And the one little spongy thing I had is more of a sanding block than it is a sponge, and so I couldn't get any kind of a texture out of it. So I used just a regular paintbrush. But I also didn't have the marigold. What I used was this what is it, A and Art. My mother had gotten it a number of years ago for one reason or another, and I've got a whole set of these. But I used ochre, burnt sienna, and burnt umber, like he was talking about. My technique used a bit more paint than his did, and you lay down the ochre or the marigold if you have it, and then over the top of it, you lay down some burnt umber, and then to get a little bit darker, you put down uh, the burnt umber. And so, but I wind up with what this looks like. And if you're not right up against it, it doesn't really look like it's brushed. It just kind of looks like it's rusted out. And that's kind of what I was going for. I also, um, on the trailer, the innards, I you can see that I put some uh, oil patches along the frame where the car is being dragged up and dripping oil, wheels and grease and wheel tire marks on that. Then I took just a little bit of this black wash because I was using a black wash on that, and I put a little bit over the tops of the wheel wells or the fenders there, gave it a little bit darker. But you don't look at it too awful close, and it's just sitting up on the shelf. Um, don't look too bad. Um, you can see the brush marks here, but you get a little ways away, and it just looks like it's kind of rusted out, which is kind of what I was going for. That wasn't that great, but for my very first attempt at rusting, I don't think it came out that bad. So, but anyway, such is that. And, yeah, not too awful bad. Then when I get another hot rod done, kind of see what I'm going to wind up doing with it. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to go with a Model T pickup, if I want to go with I've got another 53 Ford pickup up there, and I don't know if I want to hot rod it up and put it on here or uh, what. I haven't made that decision yet. But hang tight a minute. Let me get things twirled around, and I'll show you what I'm going to work on next, or have been working on. All right, what I got going on here. This is what I've got accomplished so far. I decided after all of these that I would go ahead and just do something simple. For me, trucks are simple because I know what they're supposed to look like. And I wasn't sure. The only thing I really went to looking at is some kind of a paint scheme that I might want to do on it. So, but this is the insert. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. That's the insert that comes with it. You can make a replica of the box. Wee. So I thought I'd do that just to kind of show what I'm doing. There's also another kit out there that has the single drive, which is this, and the dual drive, which is a wholly separate kit, combined into one, and you've got two sets of frames. You get actually, I've gone up with 3 drive axles, which but uh, I got some ideas for the other one to do with a single drive cab and an extended frame with a single axle. I don't know quite what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do that, because I might want to. I think I want to use the other drive axle for a third axle on a truck, but I'm not sure just yet exactly what all I want to do there. So anyway, that's for the future. But I'm just doing this. I was going to see if I could make it where there is a sleeper cab on the single axle. And well, after looking at it, deciding and thinking, I kind of like the stripes that you got. And I came up with, okay, looking online, looking at the interior, I came up with, let's see, here it is. Got the, let me zoom in a little bit instead of trying to get it close. I got the X13 metallic blue. It is just an absolute beautiful color when you get to looking at it. And I'm thinking about doing it like with this. And then the interior, which isn't, part of the actual metal, is going to be the blue, the X4 blue. Uh, and kind of a metallic dark blue, and then a dark blue interior. So, but what I got so far, I got this. There was some parts on here that were chromed up, including the valve covers, which are not supposed to be. The instructions are really unclear. Under here is the air breather, or the the little breather thing. It's supposed to be back here. The instructions show it to be up here, and then this sits behind it, but this needs to sit here, which is on top of the breather. It's really confusing. So, but I had some other parts on here that were chromed out. The filter was chromed. I de-chromed it. Stuff like this. But that's what I got. And I wound up using, for the belts, a marker. Just a magic marker type of thing. Then I went through some of the fine markers, because when I was doing it with paint, I was getting the goopiness. Nah, we're not going to do that. So I just dug out the paints. Wheels. Yeah, they're the old two-piece where you've got the ring around the outside that you have to glue on. And the very first one I did was the can. I did it one of my very first coffee and kits. Uh, it was the uh, White Freightliner dual drive. It was a kit all in unto its own, and I put the tire on, then tried to glue the ring on, and I wound up with all kinds of hassle. I learned later that, well, you can just glue it, basically put the wheel together and then pop the wheel on, the tire on. I got a couple of, I got brake stuff to put on there now that it's done. Wound up not being able to get things glued on quite right, and the wheel's not going to turn. Oh well, I don't want it to turn. I'm not going to play with the stupid thing. So, and it'll give a little bit of a braking action so that it won't roll. And the wheel, I thought that came out kind of nice. I did one, the wrecker, the Peterbilt wrecker from AMT, and I did it with a red frame, or red detail, and I put the wheel hub and so forth as a uh, all in red, and it came out pretty sharp. But the inner wheel is plain plastic. I just painted it with Tamiya silver, and it's going to have another piece that goes over that, and then it, of course, got the axle in it. And I have gone through and cleaned up the frame pieces. That's all the frame pieces, and had to use hot water just a little bit ago because these were warped to the point where I was setting one end flat and the other end was sticking up, and I want to bend it back, but I had to get hot water out and steam it for several minutes to get it to where it would actually flatten out. So that's basically what I got going on today, and so I'm going to see how much of this I can get done today, and uh, but I'll check in with y'all later and see how things are going. Happy Father's Day and all that happy stuff, and we will talk to you in the next one. B-Tex signing out.